Tough one, 2-0 the final against Austin over the weekend as the Rapids fall. And we welcome in the head coach of those Rapids, Chris Armas, to the morning sprint every Monday here at 10:45. Coach, how are you this morning?
I'm good, guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course, yeah, a tough one against Austin. Obviously, we hear the own goal in the 66th minute, and this was one that it felt like you guys started off slow. I'm going to start with the positives here before we get into picking apart how the game went awry. It felt like Nico Hansen was stellar and kept that game closer than it should have been for the first 45 minutes. Am I wrong?
Yeah, he had another really good night. That's what I'd say. We they had some big chances. We created. I think they had four big chances in the game. We had five big chances in the game. So we just didn't capitalize. But he was very good.
Coach, when you look at that, we heard is Connor Cape, I believe, was on the call on Saturday night on the radio call here on Altitude Sports Radio, which carries all Rapids games. But you hear that expected goal above 2 goals and 0 on the sheet. What goes into the minds of your strikers, of your finishers, when you are finding a bit of a goal drought, when the quality of play and the lead up to scoring goals is good? You win possession 53 to 46.9. And your XG is superior to that of your opponent, but you just aren't finding the back of the net. What goes into it psychologically for your strikers?
Yeah, it's the strikers, it's the midfielders, it's the whole attacking core. But I think the good thing is that we're getting into the spots, getting into the areas. We had most of our shots from inside the box. That's why the XG was fairly high, because we're getting in the right spots. I think there's going to be nights where the opposition they have a lot of blocks. They're guys on close to the goal line heading the ball away from goal. That's just part of sport. In baseball, it might be a night where you left a lot of runners in scoring position with no outs and three men on base and you get no runs for it. So it's not like we were missing layups, right? But just didn't score the goals. So the psychology, our guys never get too high or low. I think they know the reality is that we gave up a goal 5 minutes into the game. And this becomes something where now a team can sit deep and they're good in possession. And it becomes hard. And now when you're pushing it, guys, imagine with 25, 30 minutes to go, you give up an own goal. So now we just made it hard on the night.
I totally understood. In hockey, the term goes, you're gripping the stick a little bit too tight when you go through a stretch of games where you're just not simply scoring. And the last time that we saw you guys score in terms of big amounts was the middle of April when you guys had 5 combined goals in 2 games against San Diego and Houston. Ever since then, it's been really, really tough to come by goals. How do you get out of the rut?
Yeah. Well, Rafa Navarro is our DP striker, right? He gave us 16 or 17, one of the most in the league last year. He was out for about a month, 3 weeks. I think he missed close to a month. So now this is his first game back. He's going to get into the rhythm between him and Mihalovic linking up. That's going to be one way. Cole Bassett will get healthy. He helps our attack. And we got the fairly new signing Ku Di Pietro in the offseason where we're getting him going now. He had a pretty good game. So the key for me, the solution is you got to stick to it. You got to stick to what makes you good and stick to the process. Otherwise, yes, you are gripping the stick too tight. You start forcing things and trying too hard. So stick to the process. Keep upgrading the shots. Keep getting the right areas, and yeah, stay steady and confident.
Coach, you're several months into a new campaign, and every year, as we've talked about before, is a new year. You hit the reset button with your roster, and each team is comprised differently. What have been some of the bigger surprises on a positive note from this roster that you maybe didn't expect going into the year? And then are there any players that you feel like you could see more out of going forward to get to where you want to get in the table?
Well, you mentioned it before, you guys. Nico Hansen has been a real revelation for us. We only bring players that we think should earn and deserve to wear our jersey. But when on paper he was competing for that second goalkeeper spot, but Adam Beaudry really would be the guy. So really on paper the third goalkeeper, and now he's behaving truly like a number one. That for me is a surprise. I would say that Darren Yappy, had a shoulder surgery in the offseason, and where last year, I mean, he's 20 years old, he's getting some reps. He's a fan favorite, but this year, after that 4-month layoff, I see real, a humility that comes in, maturity, more steady, more reliable. He's already matched his career high in goals. I think that's been a real positive there. Um, I would say Jackson Travis at left back. It's real competitive. He's made it competitive for Sam Vines, and it's very close. But he's a guy that has shown some growth, and yeah, I would say that Josh Atencio is a kid that came in. We picked him up from Seattle, and he's brought some robustness in the middle of the field. So, in terms of guys you want more from, yeah, I'm not gonna go there, guys. That's that.
Coming up.
I want more. I want more from all these guys, and I'm not gonna. If I start singling out guys,
Right.
it's like I'm going after someone. But no, I see. I have a group that gives a lot, and everyone's getting better here.
Text the keyword SUMMER, that's SUMMER, SUMMER, to 303-504-0925 to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Rapids' next game against Orlando on Saturday evening. 2 more home games to start to right the ship, right? You guys are teetering on that 9 spot. Orlando in a playoff spot in the East. LA, though, comes up after a week after that game, and they're sitting at the bottom of the Western Conference. Tell me a little bit about Orlando and LA and how you guys can get back on this and start to climb.
Yeah, it's a home game, home field advantage. We sharpen up 1% better at everything we do. That's from possession to transition moments, defending, set pieces. Just get we have room to grow. And now Orlando's a good team. They're a team that's been together for quite some time. They have good team cohesion. They're very, very dangerous in transition. They have guys up the pitch that can fly. And they're a team they're a very experienced and savvy team. So that versus us, we're that hungry, young gun team. I think it sets up to be a good matchup. But no, between that game and LA Galaxy, it's one game at a time. But we'll be in those games, and we expect to win both. That's our expectation, to win both at home, knowing that we got some tough ones coming up.
The head coach of your Colorado Rapids, that is Chris Armas. Again, it's not that far away, 1%. I love to hear that. Seasons are about peaks and valleys and highs and lows, and you guys will be on the upswing soon enough. So 1%, we look to see that fixed on Saturday against Orlando. Appreciate the time as always, Coach.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.